Today I'm going to discuss foods and substances that are harmful to your body. And of course, the first thing is that every person is different, and there may be certain things that you specifically are sensitive to or allergic to, and of course, whether this is good for others or not, of course, it's you refrain from these things. Um, but the first category, I'll mention the categories from the most harmful and the things that you need to focus on first and slowly progress. What actually happens, the reason for me to mention this is, of course, not only that you enjoy better health, but during the practice of yoga, your body becomes more and more sensitive to things that are harmful, and things that did not affect you adversely previously will start to adversely affect you and can even cause serious illnesses as you progress and advance in the yoga ladder. It's just the sensitivity of the body is increased, as well as the subtle body is starting to become more and more active and starts to reject these things. So, firstly, of course, intoxicants, drugs, narcotic drugs is the first thing that you need to get rid of, from your life and find your way. You'll find that as you're practicing meditation and yoga and so forth, that it will start to become easier for you to leave these dependent substances. And the second level is, intoxicants, things that are like cigarettes, alcohol, you need to leave that. And the next level would be like lighter intoxicants, like teas and coffees and so forth. These actually will start to cause inflammation in your body. Your heart rate will start racing, even with regular coffee and tea. And you will, if you're going to continue it, you're going to cause harm to your body. And from the foods itself, a general rule of thumb is to stick to whole foods that are plant based. So we say whole foods means to eliminate all processed foods as well, and to try to avoid preserved foods as well. So many people feel just a vegetarian diet is sufficient, which it's not so, because there are things in a vegetarian diet that are still harmful, like processed foods, things like microwave foods and fast foods, right? Even though they are vegetarian. So, firstly, all animal protein, all animal, especially red meat, is the first thing that you need to give up, and thereafter, the white meats you need to give up, and seafoods, and then you need to start giving up dairy, because these are animal based, and it will start to affect your immune system more and more adversely as you're advancing in yoga. And from the vegetarian foods, you need to leave out especially things like sugar that is processed. And most of the, although honey, people say is natural, but most of the honeys that is available in the market today, there is some syrup that is added to it, which is processed, which makes it harmful. Absolutely pure honey is, it's not very easy to find, and if it's bottled, I would be a bit skeptical about it. And from the vegetable side, try to get whole vegetables. You can freeze them, purchase them, cut them up and freeze them, and cook them later. And things that you can see its original form, so you will eat an apple, you will eat fruits that you can see, in its whole form, and vegetables you'll purchase in its whole form. Then in the oils itself, all vegetable oils will start to become very harmful to you, and it's actually because it is highly processed, and it goes through over 25 processing stages before vegetable oil can be produced, and of course it can be very harmful. And even olive oil, which is one would say that it comes directly from pure olives, but it is not a whole food. It is processed in the sense that it takes about 35 olives squeezed to make 1 teaspoon of olive oil. So yes, in its natural form, the olive oil is naturally available in olives. Eaten with the olives, it is amazing. It's healthy. But once you highly make it highly concentrated, it becomes harmful. Even fruit juices, you can have 100% pure fruit juice squeezed at home. It starts to become harmful for you because it is too concentrated and it is taxing on your liver. And you start to have, you can cause a liver problem, as you're progressing and your body is becoming more and more, we will say, more and more perfect. So it's not desensitized. So today most people is desensitized to most of the harmful things, and the harmful effects does not become apparent until it's too late. So they get affected by a shorter lifespan. So it's killing you basically. But once you become sensitized, you become aware that this is harmful and you start eliminating it. It tells you to eliminate it, and that's why your lifespan starts to effectively increase, right? And also the illnesses starts to decrease overall, right? And so the subject is very controversial, and there are many people who disagree and so forth. But I've got 45 years of experience in practicing yoga, and I'm telling these things from my personal experience. And this is something that I feel very strongly about. And also myself, I'm guilty of eating and having foods that are not good for my health, even though they may be vegetarian foods and so forth. And I suffered the consequences of it. Seriously, I suffered serious consequences as well. So also the final thing I want to say is to be wary of very spicy foods, because something that is very pungent, or like hot chilies, is your stomach will be very sensitive. It will harm you very badly. And onions and garlic, you'll notice your sensitivity to it starts increasing. Raw onions can and garlic will start to make you very drowsy. And if you as you become sensitive to it, sensitized to it, if you have foods with lots of onions, or with garlic and onions, you will not be able to function for a few hours. Effectively, you'll need to sleep to let it wear out of your system. It will cause drowsiness and dizziness, and inability to concentrate and focus, and remove the clarity of your mind. So I would suggest that you watch videos on YouTube on whole foods, plant-based. There are many videos that are available that will educate you more on this, and slowly transition. You cannot transition overnight, into a healthier form of eating, and you will see the benefits and experience the benefits for yourself as well, over a period of time. So remember that you don't need to struggle with pain or illness. Try your chi healing, today, and you may contact us and have obligation free for your first 3 days. And if you like this video, please press like, subscribe, and share it. Thank you.